Hello guys, we have here the Renault Lodgy 2015. This is a discontinued model. This is a facelift of the other version which will be popping up right now. And now we straight up open the engine bay and check. The vehicle has gas struts. This is the engine bay. It's pretty clean compared to other Renaults, I feel, and to the competition it is pretty clean, and gas struts is a common thing here, I believe, in Renault. Doors with the proper strut. We have a halogen setup. This is the daytime running light. This is the indicator. A set of fog lamps. We have a small light for the parking lights. Side markers. Pretty long car. It's about 4.5 to 5 meters long. Basically, we get grayish alloys. Let's just check them. Nice. There are 185/65 R15s. We have the grey tires on this vehicle. We have diesel. Tail lamps is a bit of a compromise on this car because the car looks pretty good on the front, but not on as much as in the front. As back, let's open up the trunk. Pretty decent sized. You can fit a set of soft bags here. This is the layout. This is a 50/50, that is a 60/40 split. Pretty easy. You can fold the seats right here, just like that, and you can probably remove this also. You can soon remove this. Here is the jack placement. Here is the tow hook and the whatever spanner. Let's take a look at the underbody. Underbody seems pretty good. We have a spare tire. There is also an alloy on this particular model because the other variant don't get it. Here we have a real exhaust tip, parking sensors. We have an high stop mount lamp, spoiler, wiper with the washer. And the camera placement is right there. The engine is right now on this side, look, so on. And let's get into the interior. So here we have the front. We'll just hop in the back last row firstly. Pretty decent size. The door opens pretty wide enough. There is a good amount of opening which you can get into. So once you're in the car, you have pretty decent size or knee space, but you're very up high. You feel like a bit of squatting. All headroom is pretty decent. People who are 5.5 feet would be fine here, maybe not. I have an AC vent placement here and there. We have 12-volt charging socket, a cubby and a cup holder, fake button. There is a light placement here. There's a grab handle for every single row except for the driver. Let's get into the second row. There is not pretty much space or movement you can do in the second row. The seats recline though pretty far back, as I've seen before. Pretty decent recline we have for the second row of seats. We do get a armrest with a cup holder. We have cup holder and charging socket. Then we have some storage space. The door shut with a proper thud. Grab handle, AC vents, AC controller. Pretty chill AC. So then what else is there? Pretty decent sized door bins where you can keep a liter bottle of, I believe, a liter and some other stuff here. This is the dashboard design. It's pretty basic. It's almost replicates from the Renault Duster. We have some things to show. Let's just hop into the driver's seat. So this is the car. This is the top end variant. So we have recline, we have lumbar support for the driver, we have height adjuster, and the thing moves, power window controls and so on. Yes. Now getting into the car, the Doors all of course shut with a proper thud. And here is the steering wheel. It's pretty basic, it's rubberized. Gear selector, it is a 6-speed manual with a reverse gear, handbrake. There's a 12-volt charging socket here as well, 2 cup holders and cubby space. This car also functions with both the cruise control and there is a limiter for your speed. The doors are decent sized. There is ORVM which function pretty good and all. The owner has put blind spot mirrors just because you can see there is a big blind spot this part and beside this C-pillar and all. Here is a mirror but there is no light placement. There's a light here. This is the AC unit which provides for the rear AC. Apparently there is no mirror for the driver, so female drivers, I doubt you can drive this. There's space, cubby hole, nice storage space. There's a lock, unlock, hazard button. Decent sized infotainment system. There is a scroll wheel for that, for the radio. I don't know why Renault puts it here rather than putting it on a steering wheel. Here is the wipers. I don't want to spray it right now just because it's very dirty. It might scratch up the glass and it might be a problem. Here are the headlamp controls and rest. There is small cubby here. There is a headlight adjuster. The steering wheel is also adjustable but only by rake. It is not a telescopic one. There is seatbelt warning. The glove, there is cubby here again. The glove box is decent sized, pretty deep, but the door is pretty big to open. So let's test out some music really quick. Hope they don't monetize me. Yeah, this infotainment is pretty good. Then what do we have? We have let's just mute it. We have radio, we have media. You can connect to Bluetooth via phone and give all phone calls. We have map and navigation, pretty basic settings and all. Bluetooth display, eye system and all. It's pretty good software, but it's old, outdated and slow a bit, but gets the job done very well for the present standards. There's a sunglass holder for only the driver. So let's head on to driving right now. Actually good. There is not much of a road noise. There is only noise coming from this upper blower which is making a bit of sound. I don't know why is not trying to launch this car again. I wish they had. The engine is pretty silent on the inside. You hear very less unless and until you go above 2000 to 2500. Above that rev range you get a bit of engine noise. Other than that, this is a pretty silent car. You can cruise it. Car actually gives pretty decent pull and all. There is decent amount of pull comparative to all the big daddies which come in this range, like the Toyota Innova, the Xylo, the Aria, the Hexa, which is the new one. It almost competes with the present day cars and all. It meets all those standards at the present time also. Pretty good car. I don't know why still. Renault, come on, you can relaunch this vehicle. People are knowing the value of this. If you get this tail done, the back side of the car pretty good, you might be on the right track. There is a new Duster launching soon. We'll see about what is going on, what is Renault cooking. Let me tell you the specs on this. It is a 110 bhp, 108 Newton meters of torque car. It's a 4-cylinder turbo diesel. Pretty good for a car which is run mostly in the city, and there is very less dents and all I've seen. I do a lot of city driving rather than driving it in the highway, because highway is for any car can go, but in the city this feels a handful of a car. you should not actually mismanage the vehicle. It's as big as an Innova. It has a longer wheelbase than the Innova, but pretty good. There is decent size leg room everywhere. Every person can sit behind each other. Like if I'm 6 foot, a 6 foot guy can sit behind me, and in the third row maybe a bit tight, but the person can do well even in the third row who is about 5 feet 10 inches or 11 inches, but not a 6-inch guy, because he gets way too crammed due to the rear seat. It might feel a bit tight for him, but him or her, whoever it is. Rest, the car is pretty good and all. You get a heft of it. This is a power steering cum a hydraulic steering wheel. It's heavy. It feels heavy when it is turned off, the car is off. Other than that, this is a pretty nice drive, smooth, and yeah, the handrest comes into play when you're going for long drives. You just place your hand there, and it is a hefty car, not to say no, but pretty decent. People kind of, in some places in other cities or somewhere, they tend to see this car very rarely, so they stare at it for some reason. I don't know why, but this is a pretty good car for long drives. If you have 7 people at your house, you're going on a long road trip, or to any place like Wonderla or somewhere where you have to take pretty 8 people or 7 people comfortably with the AC cruising at 110 or so. It is pretty good car. Yeah, I know, I'm saying it car, it is an hefty MPV, which I should be judging the weight of it. It's around 1.3 tons, which is pretty light for a car in India, but not in the standards. It is pretty hefty car, which you compare to the Ertiga and all. Ertiga is a bit light, but can be done better. Ertiga does not offer that space, feeling, the comfort, the ride quality, the mileage. This owner claims that he has got around 25 kmpl, and he has done about, we have a temperature. The instrument cluster is pretty basic. You have all the telltale lights coming on then you get the cruise control, you get the limiter up there, you get your the trip amount of consumption from the last refuel if you have reset it, from the last reset mileage. This is the ongoing mileage on how you drive. This is the air distance to empty, and so forth, so on. This is another trip which you can reset. This is the average speed you have done, and again this much. Just get this car back on the roads, get a new version of it, or change the name and change the design of the car a bit, and get it to work. It is better for you to come back into the MPV region where there is a lack of cars. I feel the XL6 is all similar. You get a captain chair's version of this car, but I don't have it right now. Just to show, I'll just pop up a picture up there wherever it feels comfortable. Anyway, this is my kind of first review which I'm doing on a pretty hefty big car. Rear view mirror is pretty small, but gives a decent view out from the back. If all 7 members are sitting, there is a bit of intrusion in your view, but lately if you don't have 7 people and you're driving 4 people, it's pretty visible backside. It has daytime and nighttime. You have to switch it manually though. Let me just, yep. So there is another competition. Pretty much there is a very less amount of competition for this car, but the people did not really like the design. I wish Renault could have improved on that and removed a facelift or taken on a facelift model of this car. It would have been better on the roads. They could have sold more. It's a good performing car. lately as I'm driving right now. It's a manual, so the clutch is not that heavy actually, relative to all those big hefty cars which we see as Innovas, or let it even be any diesel Fortuner. The clutch might feel heavy, but I feel the clutch is not that heavy on this car. Yeah, it's so relatively easy to drive, that I keep saying it is a car rather than a MPV, which is 4.9 meters long, which expands behind me and seats 7 people. The suspension barely makes any noise. The suspension is on the medium side, soft when you have a lot of people or 7 people on the board with all of their luggage. You don't practically fit all of their luggage, but you can fit 5 people and their luggage by removing the third row set of seats. Third row is actually removable, and you can make it into a sofa or a kind of a chair or seat at your house also. This is where we end the video, and see you soon. Bye.